Good, very bad, terrible, awful, horrendous, blasphemous running game hit an all-time low on Sunday against the Jaguars, and there were 7 run plays that I felt really exemplified the multitude of issues that they're dealing with. So, 3rd and 1, ball on the 10-yard line, deep in their own territory, the first third down of the game for the Bengals early in this game. We're going to be in 11 personnel with the tight end CJ Uzomah motioning across the line of scrimmage, and this is what we're going to focus on. We have 3 groups of 2 blockers that are going to do very similar things in order to get this toss sweep towards the field side of the play to get a single yard against a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8-man box with an overhang defender as a cornerback in off-zone coverage and a single high look. So, really, off the bat, not the greatest front you want to run a play like this against. But here's what they're trying to do. They're going to have the receivers pin the chaos force defenders back towards the middle. You're going to have both of your guards try to climb up to the second level to the linebackers, and you're going to have Uzomah and left tackle John Jerry pull around the pin blockers. So the pin and pull scheme got going on here on this toss to essentially get the cornerback and seal off any other second or third level defender that comes crashing down here. The goal is just to get 1 yard here. Well, the Jaguars defense isn't the greatest at defending the run, but they have athletes and they have guys who can read and react really quickly. So right off the bat, you have the force chaos defenders crashing down on the line of scrimmage immediately, forcing John Jerry to lose depth in his pull. So he's pretty much late. And you have Tyler Boyd and Alex Erickson getting destroyed off the line with their pin blocks. And then you have both guards and Billy Price and Alex Redmond having no chance of getting to these linebackers. And again, there's so much speed on this Jaguars defense that the only way that this concept is going to work against this front is if you have some type of pre-snap misdirection, and that comes in the form of jet motions and other pre-snap motions of that variety. But I mean, this is just these would be great plays made by Bengals linebackers, but this is just kind of what Quincy Williams and Miles Jack do on a regular basis. Just blow these plays up, and Yannick Ngakoue off the edge. My God, man, a lot of force and fill alley players working together in cohesion with the Jaguars, and there's just no reason why the Bengals should ever try to get this cute or complex with their running game when they just don't have the personnel and athletes to, emulate these kind of schemes. So that was a 3-and-out right out of the gate. Move on to the second quarter, a 1st and 10, again deep in their own territory, and we're going to show the all-22 angle here, just to showcase how much space Joe Mixon actually had in the first level blocking. It's something that has not happened very much at all this season, really. And I really wonder if it has negatively impacted his mental psyche as a running back, because this play does basically everything that the Bengals wanted to do. They have the jet motion from Tyler Boyd, remove an overhang defender here, get him away towards the play side of the field, and you're only dealing with one linebacker here, so you're dealing with a light box. The first level blocking does its job, and right as he gets to the line of scrimmage, the original line of scrimmage, there's a lot of space for Joe to work with here. If you can just square his shoulders at the line, take a quick bounce outside, he has ample space to scatter and gain a lot of yards. But he doesn't do that. And I really wonder if he's so used to not having so much space at the line to work with that he just automatically now mentally he just freezes up and braces for contact because he just kind of expects it to come. Because right here, he can just stick his foot in the ground and bam, there's a lot of space to work with. You have Tyler Boyd and you have the tight end here sealing these guys off, and it just doesn't happen. And on the end zone, the tight angle, we're going to see how the middle linebacker here, he kind of gets off of Trey Hopkins' second level block pretty easily here, and it wasn't that good of a job by Hopkins in the first place. But this is as good as you're going to get if you're Joe Mixon this year, and that's just not the same Joe Mixon that we've seen in the past. Now, later in the second quarter, another 1st and 10 in their own side of the field. They're going to have another jet motion across the line of scrimmage, but this time the jet motion is towards the play side of the field. It's towards the design side of the formation where the run is going. Now, we always talked about, these jet motions will lighten the load that the Bengals are facing from a box standpoint, but you're basically encouraging the second level defenders to go with the flow of the play, and it doesn't really help out your blockers when they're trying to get into the second level. And the first level blocking isn't bad, But you can see Joe is already, he's trying to square his shoulders. He's trying to, get his feet going in the right direction here. And you can see off of that first move, he's trying to cut back towards the right here because there's a gap opening up here. You have the linebackers really falling into the play side A and B gaps, and he wants to cut back, but you have a rookie tight end, Drew Sample, going up against four-time Pro Bowler Calais Campbell. Sample can't exactly seal him off, and let's look at his footwork here. This is what we call the drive step, and then in his own scheme, a drive step towards a reach block. He just doesn't get that. It doesn't get as far out as he can, and I think part of this is because Campbell is obviously reading the first steps of the offensive line, and also reading, okay, you have a potential jet motion to cross here, and he's kind of reading towards the flow of the play where it's designed to go, and I think Campbell basically reads what he sees and really just blows up this play, and it might be on the scheme that the Bengals are running here that kind of gave that away, and Joe Mixon unfortunately, he can't cut back into what could have been an open lane if Sample could have just sealed off Campbell here. But again, that's a tough ask for a rookie tight end, no matter how talented he is as a run blocker coming out of college. Now, 1st and 15, 2-minute drill here for the Bengals offense. This is a great look to run against, right? You have a 2-by-2 formation with stacked receivers out wide, and you have really like the entire Jaguars secondary on the boundary here. You're running against a 4-man front and just one linebacker. This is a great look to run against. You have everything that you want. But what the hell is this? Like, really? You're trying to do a pin and pull scheme against a 5-man box, and you have most of the guys on the line who just basically mess up more times than not with their assignments? Like, there's no reason for Price and Hopkins to be pinning and pulling here. Because in this specific play, you have Hopkins pinning the nose tackle, and you have Redmond climbing to the second level, and you have Price trapping essentially the 3 technique. And like all of that doesn't work. All of it fails. Like you will not have a better situation to run against, and they're just doing too much, man. They're just getting way too cute. They can't afford to do these types of things if they don't have the personnel to do this. And this is why the mistakes are going to keep happening. Even against the most favorable situations, you only get 2 yards. And now they ended up with a score on this drive, but this led to a 2nd and 13. And on average, with this offense, you don't really trust them to get a first down after getting in 2nd and long situations. Now we're going to have Uzomah motioning towards closer to the line of scrimmage, really condensing this formation. And again, going up against a 9-man box, really, or an 8-man box this time. Again, this is a great time for Dalton to really check out of this play and maybe get some tight, quick passes out of this condensed formation to get some easy yards. But again, we're going to have Erickson jet motioning across the line of scrimmage, and then the play is going to go where the motion is. So you have you're asking the defense to flow with the play and then running the ball right to where the defense is flowing. Now, they've had problems blocking the second level all year. That hasn't been anything new. And on this specific play, they're trying something different. They're having Billy Price move up to get the strong side linebacker here, and then they're having Alex Redmond go up to get the mic. Now Hopkins and Redmond seem to do their job, right? They get a little ace block, and then have Redmond climb. But I'm not exactly sure what's going on with John Jerry and Billy Price, because it looks like Price knew what to do, and he was climbing, and he was getting off that block quickly, and he actually got to his assignment, but there's a false step from John Jerry here right off the snap that doesn't really get him in position to seal out this 3 technique. And then the 3 technique just basically, stacks with the line of scrimmage and runs down the play and just closes the gap before it can even open. So this is, I think, their way of trying to compensate for their struggles in second level blocking. But again, if one person makes a mistake, in this case it's Jerry with that false step, it can all go to hell. And even if he does, even if these guys do their assignments initially, there's not a lot of push on the line, right? You have 95, I think that's Avery Jones, eating that double team. You have the linebackers closing in pretty quickly. Even when Price gets there fast, he still can't seal him away. So it's just really a bad play being worse because you have one guy in a miscommunication, albeit something very odd and something you don't see that often with second-level blocking like that. So, wow. If you didn't see that off the first play, watch Redmond and Hart here. Like, what is he doing? Like, this is obviously miscommunication. He just doesn't know what the play call is. And it all goes to hell. Like, we just talked about second level blocking. That's something every middle linebacker that they've played this year has had a couple opportunities a game to just crash down on basically a Red Sea parting in the A gap and having a free play at Joe Mixon. Like, how can they continue to put Redmond out there as a starter if he's going to make mistakes like this? That's just inexcusable. And even when you have Billy Price and Trey Hopkins doing pretty well against a double team here, play still goes for no yards because one guy, they can't count on all 5 guys to do their assignments on a play-for-play basis. Finally, the last run that really mattered when this game was even close. Jet motion again. You're going to have duo here from the center guard tackle. The play gets really blown up because the Jags are basically reading it perfectly off the snap. The play is designed to go into the C gap between the tackle and the tight end. And Eifert's doing his best to seal off. I believe that's Josh Allen, the rookie first-round pick. Bernard is forced to bounce outside. Because of this initial disruption, Hart's angle to the second level linebacker Miles Jack is altered. He can't get there. Bernard gets no yards.